Hi everyone, welcome back to Life with Aerie. My name's Erin and I'm an Aries. All right, so today I'm gonna be talking about the foods I ate during my initial flare up and kind of what to eat during flare ups for Crohn's. So I met with a dietitian at Midwest GI, and so that's where I got some of this information. But the other information that I'm sharing is from the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and I'll link this below. But basically, I just wanted to give kind of like an idea of what foods are generally okay to eat when you're having a flare up. I know that for Crohn's, like everyone's bodies are different, and some foods work for people and some of these foods don't. What I've learned is that it's just kind of something that you have to try and see how your body responds. Which is why like a lot of doctors suggest like food diaries and stuff like that during this, or like when you have Crohn's. So I kind of broke things down by category. So like fruits, veggies, dairy, and all that. So I'll start with the milk and dairy. So, obviously, milk and dairy is like a really controversial topic for people with Crohn's. I know people that stay completely away from dairy with Crohn's, but during my flare up, I was having like a really hard time eating anything. So like I wasn't getting any nutrients. Like I was losing weight. Like I just felt so weak. My skin was so pale. Like it was clear that I wasn't getting nutrients. So when I told my caseworker that at Midwest GI, she suggested hard-boiled eggs, which I'll get into that in a second. But she also suggested string cheese because that has like a decent amount of protein and it's something kind of easier to eat. So while like cheese and dairy is like a controversial thing for Crohn's, some people can handle it, and I was one of the people who could handle it. My body seemed to digest it okay. So for milk and dairy, I did eat string cheese. Other things they say that are okay to eat is like milk you can do plain or flavored, but lactose free is often like the preferred option. You can do yogurt. My list says custard, but for me, I steered clear of like foods with high amounts of sugar and all that, because that kind of seemed to like upset me a little more. So my list from Midwest GI does say you can eat custard, but I would just be weary of the sugar in that. You can do lactose-free ice cream or cottage cheese. Hard cheeses should be okay. Like I think cheddar is typically one of those, so you can test that out. I had string cheese. That was like really the only cheese I had during my flare. And then I didn't eat or drink like regular milk or even lactose free, I did coconut milk. And I did unsweetened organic coconut milk. Because like that's a pretty watery milk, and I mean I did eat cereal and stuff, so when I did I would put unsweetened organic coconut milk in it, so I found that was like pretty good for me. So the next topic would be fruit. Big thing with fruit is to eat cooked fruit or canned fruit and make sure there's no skins. So I had like, canned peaches with no sugar. I didn't really have, I did cooked apples, like applesauce, unsweetened. But basically, yeah, canned or cooked fruit without any skins. You can try fruit juice, but that does usually have like a lot of sugar or sometimes like high fructose corn syrup, and you just kind of want to be aware of that when you're purchasing those products, because one, that's not really good for you in the first place, and two, it can be irritating. However, as I'm like transitioning into eating normal food, I have been adding pineapple juice to my smoothies. That is an anti-inflammatory juice. I get the organic kind. I'll have to put the brand down below. But that's like a good juice to try. Bananas, definitely bananas. I ate a lot of banana. Soft cantaloupe and honeydew melon. So it is, kind of limited. But basically, yeah, canned or cooked fruit, no skins. I also ate avocado. Okay. Avocado was really a good one. That's soft, easy to digest, good nutrients. So that was a good one too. Let's see, veggies. So veggies, again, you want to make sure they're like well cooked, like steamed, boiled, and then make sure they don't have skins. So some of the suggested veggies to eat during a flare are asparagus tips, cucumbers, potatoes, and squash. Okay, my dog is like getting in my lap right now, so I'll just let her say hi and then we'll put her down. Okay, she's not a lap dog, but she is pretending to be. This is sweet honey. Good baby. Okay, that's honey. And we're gonna put her down now. Okay. So yeah, I ate mashed potatoes. I did have like asparagus tips. I also did like canned green beans, like just in small amounts, and that seemed to be fine. My list says you can also try like vegetable juice, so like maybe like V8 or tomato juice. I've tried that now that I'm transitioning, but I didn't try it during my flare. Excuse me. So yeah, those are really the vegetables that are bearable. Let's see. Okay, so breads, cereal, rice, pasta, that category, like grains kind of. So you want to make sure you're getting like enriched white bread, or basically products made from refined flour. So I ate Wonder Bread because that has like a higher amount of calcium. So I just was like, it's enriched white bread, so I was just trying to get nutrients where I can. So you can do enriched white bread rolls, low-fat biscuits, low-fat muffins, white rice, pasta, noodles, cooked potatoes, no skin, plain crackers. I ate like saltine crackers or soda crackers. For cooked cereal, you can try cream of wheat or oatmeal. I didn't eat oatmeal during my flare, but I am eating it now that I'm transitioning, so you can try that. Cold cereal, you want to make sure you get the low fiber ones. I ate corn flakes, so that's a good one. Rice Krispies, Special K, puffed rice. You want to try to get something with 3 grams of fiber or less. And then something that worked for me that's kind of controversial again was I ate plain Cheerios. So like I didn't eat a lot. It was maybe half a cup at a time, maybe. And so that's controversial because typically you want to stay away from like whole grains. And I think the fiber in that one is 4 grams. But since I was eating it in such a low amount, or small amount, I wasn't bothered by it. So if you want, you can try that. But typically they do say to stay away from whole grain or wheat products during a flare. But other like acceptable products would be sourdough, potato, or gluten-free bread. And then again, you just want to get like the enriched white bread, or products made from refined flour. Okay, so meat and other proteins. I didn't eat a lot of meat during my initial flare. I did have some chicken breast, not really seasoned. It was just pretty basic, so that was good. But you want to get ground or well cooked and tender beef, lamb, ham, veal, fish, or organ meats, lean cuts of pork, white meat, poultry. Those are good ones. My dietitian at Midwest GI said a good rule to go by is if you have to use a knife to cut the meat, it's probably not tender and you shouldn't be eating it. Other protein options would be soy or firm tofu. So if you do, that's another thing, for milk, you could do soy milk. You could do almond milk too, but I would try to get the unsweetened ones just to, eliminate added sugars. Back to protein, well-cooked eggs. So I did hard-boiled and scrambled. And that was great. It was a good way for me to get protein, nutrients, and I wasn't bothered by that. So that was good. And then I ate a lot of peanut butter. You can make sure it's the smooth kind, not crunchy. You can also try almond butter too. But yeah, I ate a lot of peanut butter. Okay. Snacks and condiments. So my list from Midwest GI says you can eat margarine, butter, oils, mayonnaise, sour cream, and salad dressings, but eat it in moderate amounts, 1 to 2 tablespoons. And again, that can be controversial because fats and oils are kind of something you need to be careful with flares. So just be mindful of that. You can try jelly, jam, honey, syrup. I didn't really eat those things during my flare. I eat jelly now, and I do eat honey. So, but I'm like still in my transitioning phase. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like, back to eating all normal foods yet, but that's something you can try during a flare. Spices, cooked herbs, broth, bouillon, and soups made with allowed ingredients. You can do tea, plain cakes, and cookies. I found a good recipe for peanut butter cookies, and it was like a simple, like 3-ingredient cookie, so 3 or 4. So I can link that below, but that's like another good way to like, get some protein during a flare, and I handled those fine, so that was good. And then you can do gelatin, plain puddings, custard, ice cream, sherbet, popsicles, and pretzels. But again, just kind of be conscious of like processed things when you're in a flare, like, because typically you want to eat like whole foods and stuff. And be mindful of the sugar content. But if you can handle those things, like, apparently that would be okay during a flare. Okay. And then I'll add this to just like foods to avoid for flares. So for fruits and veggies, stay away from like raw, dried fruit, prunes, raisins, and berries. So and same thing, like raw or undercooked veggies, nothing with skins, lettuce and salad vegetables, like nothing raw, dry beans, peas, and lentils, and then cruciferous veggies, like broccoli and cauliflower. That was hard because I like cruciferous veggies, but yeah, it's not good during a flare. For protein, nuts, and grains, stay away from all nuts, seeds, nut clusters, crunchy nut butters, granola. It's hard on your digestive system. Whole wheat or whole grain products like bread, pasta, rice, cereals, stay away. Buckwheat, brown or wild rice, bran products, and then for meat, any tough or fibrous meats that are difficult to cut and chew. And then for snacks, dairy, and condiments, stay away from popcorn, lactose, like the sugar found in dairy, like that can be really irritating for people. So, like I said, maybe get the lactose-free kind, but be aware of that. And like milk, cream cheese, soft cheese, like probably something you want to stay away from if it has lactose in it. And then non-absorbable sugars, so sorbitol, mannitol, and other sugar alcohols found in like sugar-free gum, candy, ice cream, and certain types of fruits and juices such as pear, peach, and prune. Also, I think some like sports drinks have some of that, like sorbitol and mannitol. So just if you're getting like Gatorade and stuff, I did like the Gatorade G2, the grape kind, and that was a good way to like stay hydrated for me. It didn't seem to upset me, and I don't think it had any of those ingredients, so just kind of be mindful of your sugars. Stay away from sugary foods like pastries, candy, or like super sugary juices. No high fat foods. So like greasy food, fatty, fried, cream, butter, coconut, and margarine, obviously high fat. So if you can handle those, just, do the 1 to 2 tablespoons. But, be mindful, because typically you should stay, kind of away from those. Alcohol and caffeinated drinks, beer, wine, liquor, soda, coffee. Black coffee is still like a hard one for me. I can handle like espresso a little bit better. But yeah, just see how like your body does with it. Coffee was a really hard one for me. Okay. And then spicy foods. So, and then I posted something on Instagram about what else I ate during my initial flare. So I think I said, yeah, I did. I had like, lightly buttered noodles and like stuff like that. But I'll link my Instagram below, because I'm like kind of posting about it on there as well, like what I'm eating, what I did eat, and kind of what I'm doing to heal. So I'll link that below, but and then I'll link my sources too, but okay. She doesn't like when I talk and she can see who like is there. I don't know. She just wants the attention to be on her, but that's okay, because I understand. Okay, so I'll link my sources too below, but yeah, just remember that while these are like, foods suggested by my gastrointestinal doctor's office and like the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, just be mindful that not everything works for everyone. You really do have to try and see which things work for you. So like, try it in a small amount, give it a day or two to like see how you do. But these are kind of generally the foods that you should be able to eat during a flare, and then the foods you should stay away from during a flare. So, that is all I have for this video. For my next video, I'll be talking about like my transition foods, like what I'm adding back into my diet after going from like a flare up or low residue or low fiber diet. So that'll be in my next video, but thank you for watching, and happy to be here and share my experience with you guys. And comment below if you have like, something that worked for you during your flare, or like if you have any tips or anything, because it was like hard for me to find like reliable sources, like, during the flare, like what can I do to get nutrients and stuff. So that's why I thought I would kind of make this video, because the list was from, my GI doctor, and then also the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So this is like a pretty good general list to go off of. But if anyone has anything else they want to add, comment below, because that would be really helpful. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I look forward to talking to everyone next week. Thank you. Bye.